We're back, mofos. We're back streaming live to Twitch, and we're looking at the total electron content forecast. Things are much more well organized here. So this is going to show the likely locations for GPS errors. People that live around the equator are well aware that their GPSs will not work very well around noontime. They'll have errors of thousands of miles, which is the kind of error you could expect under the areas that show these red areas overhead. It's because when your GPS satellite must communicate through a lot of free electrons, it doesn't work very well. Most of those are around the equator at noon. We're back to a less chaotic coupled thermosphere, ionosphere, plasmasphere electrodynamics. So your GPS satellite's located about 12,500 miles of altitude. There's a plasmasphere and a Van Allen belt and another plasmasphere sometimes in between your handset and your satellite. That's what causes the errors, those free electrons. They refract the signal. So looking at charging hazards here, we do see some charging hazards. Significant surface charging hazards moving into the central Pacific Ocean there, caused by low-energy electrons building up on the surface of satellites. Electron flux reached surprisingly high levels yesterday, almost up to 10 times warning levels there. That's the electron flux over the past 3 days, and I was completely wrong with my forecast. I expected it to be much lower. I expected it to be, well, we'll show you in a minute when we get to the forecast model. There's the 1-year chart to put the electron flux in context. The greater than 2 mega electron volt electron fluence. So here's your forecast model, and I was expecting this to be way down here. It was actually way up here, so I was as wrong as NOAA was, just in the opposite direction. Electron flux much higher levels than we expected. There was a brief period of geomagnetic unrest. Make sure you watch our YouTube video. This one was originally streamed live to Twitch. We decided to upload all 3 of our space weather videos today to YouTube for a weekend treat. So we're also looking at the ionosphere layer here in our bonus features segment. The F layer is located at about 300 kilometers of altitude, and here is the vibrational frequency. We'll also show the anomalygram. Give that a minute to load as we are streaming live. Yes. Was it live or was it Memorex? Let us know in the comments. So yeah, here's your vibrational frequency of the ionosphere in megahertz. If you think this can be used to forecast earthquakes, then I suggest you read the science publication about ionospheres and earthquakes, because it's absolutely not able to forecast earthquakes. The resolution's not high enough, and the time scale is not relevant in any way. Forecasting earthquakes with the ionosphere is an idiotic idea. And for all you YouTubers out there, if you're suggesting that a science publication backs up your ridiculous ideas, please at least read the abstract. Preferably the whole paper, but at least read the abstract. Because, oh, so many times I've seen people claim things that aren't true. And just in reading the abstract, their ridiculous claims were put to bed. Here's the anomalygram showing anomaly in megahertz from the 30-day median. There's a lot of shaking going on up in the diffuse gas of the ionosphere, and it's very susceptible to small changes in magnetic fields, similar to the way the total electron content is very susceptible to magnetic fields. That's why we show it. We don't show it because it's going to forecast earthquakes, or it's going to forecast the destruction of civilization, or the reversal of Earth's rotation, or some other ridiculous nonsense like that. We are seeing some fairly significant wild swings and extended anomalies here around Central America. So if you look right here, you're going to see like a strip of high frequency, and then it's going to suddenly shift to low frequency. So that's a little bit anomalous, folks. Again, keep in mind that resolution is quite low here, only 1 megahertz. On the main ionogram, there's the latest image, 1130 ionogram. There's the latest image, 1130 anomalygram. It's anomaly in megahertz from the 30-day median. We're also going to show a ground-based solar observatory, as we do most days. Today, the most up-to-date data is from El Teide, Spain. We do see quite a few filaments here. Don't be surprised to see additional coronal mass ejections, huge filaments in the north, and some significant filaments in the south as well. The main area to watch for activity like flares is right here, and also our channel, youtube.com/smashobash. And I'm just checking the life of the stream here. Everything looks AOC. Leave us a comment if you think AOC is flirting with Elon Musk. Man, what a joke. Do you seriously think, if you don't have a Twitter account, please get a Twitter account. If you do have a Twitter account, go to our Twitter page, twitter.com/smashomash, and answer our poll. Do you think Twitter is fixed because Elon Musk bought Twitter? I think it's a ridiculous idea. I don't think Twitter's fixed. I think Twitter is just as drab, dreary, boring, and repetitive as it's been in the past. We have a Twitter account because we're a business. And let's move on to our colorized magnetogram and solar intensitygram. So there's the latest colorized magnetogram in high res. There's the latest intensitygram. Let's show this. So there's sunspot 2995 in its setting mode. Don't be surprised to see additional large flares coming from this general area. Let's zoom back out. Otherwise, the past 24 has seen a dip in solar activity. Both the radio flux and the sunspot number has dropped. Don't panic, folks. Our finest days lie ahead. The sun's not going to kill you, and the galactic core is not going to incite the sun to kill you. We'll close out with some more moving pictures. This is 304 angstroms from the NASA GOES 16 SUVI, one of my personal favorites because its wide field of view is great at showing solar prominences. Again, this is the area to keep your eye on. And when I say eye on, well, pardon the pun. We'll close out with some 171 angstroms SDO browse data, and we'll have to reload that as it needed a refresh. And it'll be refreshing to see the spectacular high-res imagery from the SDO. Just give it a minute. That is yesterday and today. As April nearly draws to a conclusion. Happy New Moon Day. Once again, congratulations on realizing the channel exists, and may that solar wind be at your back. Opinions expressed in this video, not necessarily the opinions of Smash News Network, least busted name in news.